So general management consulting, first of all, the pool will always be higher because these are more generic. Now in these particular roles, they're very specific to the organization. Like if I talk about TAS is a very specific process to itself. It will have GDs, where you have chairman GDs, you will have presentation rounds. So they'll give you a case study, you will be asked to make a presentation out of it, you will be presenting the same. You will have chairman GDs where you will be given a situation, there will be about 10 students sitting, and then they will take your viewpoint on each of the cases and see how you basically interact as a group, how you interact as a team player, and what kind of solutions you can present. These are very company specific process. Capgemini Elite has its own program, but basically whenever there comes general management, you will have certain things like, you'll often hear that also, chairman GD rounds, presentation rounds, and so on. Then next you have consulting. So consulting, it's a very hotshot word. Many students actually want to go for consulting. There you have case study rounds. So you will have within case studies, you will have guesstimates, where they'll ask you to say, let's say, uh, tell me the overall kilometers of national highways in India. What is the total length? I mean, anything like that. Basically, you will have to do some basis, certain assumptions that you will make. You'll have to kind of work around certain guesstimates. You will have to work around certain estimates and basically come up with a solution. So there, they'll check your approach, what kind of assumptions you've taken, which approaches you have taken. So there are multiple approaches of solving a particular guesstimate. And if you have some basic sense about numbers, like we're not saying that you give me an exact number, but if let's say you're talking about national highways, I mean, nobody will expect you to say, let's say 5 highways are in India, right? They will expect you to have some basic general knowledge, some logical aspects to your assumptions, to your numbers that you're taking, and ultimately solve through those to arrive at a base number. Again, the idea is that you are as close to the actual number as possible, but nobody is really checking you for that alone. The major chunk of your performance in that particular type of an interview lies in how well you are structured in your approach, how much clarity exists basically in solving that particular problem. Similar to that is case study rounds. So in all consulting interviews, they often start with guesstimates, and then towards the end you have case study rounds. It could be one case study round, it could be one case study in one interview, it could be multiple smaller case studies in one interview. That depends, but ultimately the case studies are basically, they'll give you some problem, and they'll start seeing what kind of assumptions you're making, what kind of questions you're asking. So if today let's say simply give you a case study, that for this particular vertical, let's say events vertical in OYO, we see a fall of revenues by 50%. Okay, tell me how will you work around this problem and help the company in raising its revenues. Now, in this particular case study, this is just an example. Now, it is about what kind of questions are you asking. First of all, your questions is what kind of regions are we considering. So let's say you ask me which area do you want me to take, or let's say if the interviewer is not really helping you, you can simply make your own assumptions, right? Let's say you are someone from South. So you will say, I want to pick up this particular region, because always play to your strengths as well. You know South area because that is where you have been brought up, right? So clarify that I'm particularly considering this particular area. Then second is, say, when it comes to revenues are a function of two things: price versus quantity. So for price, I'm going to take so and so assumptions. For quantity, I'm going to make so and so assumptions. Basically, you have to show structure in your approach. You have to ask the right questions. They should see a clarity of thought. Basically, how good you are in problem solving, in analytical skills. So that is all what is consulting about.